In this universe,
in this galaxy, in this world, beneath the influencer clouds,
over the viral video fields,
off the information superhighway,
there are voices in the digital wilderness, whispering
more opinions.
If you listen,
you will hear.
We look so serial in our pictures. We're just like, yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I like the yellow. I like that. I like that yellow background. It's very punchy. I like it.
It's orange.
It looks yellow to me. Maybe it's the resolution. Maybe it's the colors on my screen. Actually, it looks like it kind of fades when it goes like more of an orangey down to a yellow. Like you're in the orange there, Alex, and then like the garbage man.
You said urine.
Yellow. Urine. Man, I wish there was more people here. So, because when I started this conversation, hello, Ryan. Pleasure as always. So, 330,000 is a big number, correct, Alex?
Oh, it depends. Are we talking about money or poop particles?
Well, neither. I am talking about the amount of children in France that are victims of church sex abuse. Oh, they're going to click something. I was like waiting.
I was, and I didn't get to it in time. So, okay, here we go.
No.
Is that in bad taste? I'm sorry.
No. Well, no, because it's the whole, well, yeah, it is, but this is our show and we don't care. So again, I wish there were more people here when I say this. So until there are 330,000 children abused by transgender people, just in France alone, don't talk to me about grooming your children. Don't talk to me about the whole BS about, the children, the church, and stop. Because that is just France. I can just imagine the way it is around the rest of the world. So, yeah, don't give me that crap.
And not only from the past 10 years alone, but what whataboutism? Since the Catholic Church began, I don't know how long ago, thousands of years perhaps, and they've been doing this, and a lot of people are coincidentally dead and can't tell us.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
Bolo, speaking of people who are abused in some fashion or form, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know where you're going with that. So
Me neither.
You're on your own. Yeah, so it just blows my mind. Like that's what you're worried about. I mean, you're allowed to be worried about it. Actually, I'm going to say it's your right to be worried about it. It most definitely is. But don't turn a blind eye to what other groups that are supposed to be caring and loving have done to children. So, yes. That's great segue to my next thing. We haven't talked about wrestling in a very long time. I wish Brody was here. But this is I actually need you guys to think, there's only a few of us here right now, of course. What is the most toxic group of people? Now, I saw this on the internet the other day. Wrestling fans, comic book fans, or music fans. And me personally, after reading this story that I'm about to parlay with, tell to you guys, it's wrestling fans. So there is a newer company called AEW. If you don't follow wrestling, Tony Khan is the gentleman's name. His dad is actually the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and a football team across the pond. One of the actual football soccer teams. So his dad is a multi-billionaire and decided to give his son a bunch of money to start a wrestling company. Okay, but this wrestling company basically got a bunch, more or less, indie workers that, you know, probably shouldn't be on TV yet, that don't really know what they're doing, and they mess up a lot on TV. Now, we've all seen people mess up. It's wrestling. It is a physical dance, a choreographed art. But anyways, so WWE's big fault, a lot of people haven't liked, is the camera moves a lot. And there are times where you're like, whew, you're actually getting motion sickness for how much the camera moves. Do you remember that, Alex? I mean, you haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you remember the quick. So what people, you know, should know is the reason the camera moves so much is because a lot of times these people aren't hitting each other. Choreographed, you know, violent dance. So the camera moves so it still makes it look like they hit the person. Now, AEW is terrible, absolutely atrocious for showing missed spots. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking like guys punching the ring, like not even like when they're on top of a guy, like feeding him down like this, and like they're punching the ring beside the guy's head. And the camera would be looking like, I say my mic's, I'm punching the guy's head. The camera's looking at me and it's looking at me going like this and missing. And I'm punching the mat. So that's how bad it is, right? So there was an account on Twitter called All Elite Botches. Now this guy, every show compiled all the messed up moves, right? Now, a lot of the AEW has I'm in a basement dwelling, bearded neckbeards. I don't have a neckbeard though. They get very protective over AEW. This is the greatest wrestling ever, and these guys are superstars. A lot of these guys think these people are on the level of Stone Cold, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and they're delusional. So they started going after this guy, making these videos. Well, it is now that the account has been suspended, okay, because he has decided to close the account because these neckbeards threatened his family. And by threatened, I mean doxed him, found out who he was, sent him the picture of his family, his kids, his address, and the address to his children's school. This is about wrestling, folks. That is insanity. Hello. Oi. Okay.
Hello.
Again, I love professional wrestling. I know it is not real. But to go after someone's family and like children over wrestling? Wow. So, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube Jr., is a huge wrestling fan. And I won't bring up the story. I'll just read it. It's right here on my other screen. So this guy says to him, so O'Shea Ice Cube Jr. said, "Oh, free my dog. He didn't do nothing wrong. Like, why is he suspended?" So this guy actually says to him, "Damn, how is it your father, in brackets, Ice Cube, have more common sense than you?" Here was Ice Cube Jr.'s retort to him. Okay? This is awesome. "How is it y'all get upset at me for joking about an account getting suspended that y'all do shit like this? Bring up my fucking family, simultaneously disrespecting me and my father for a fucking wrestling page? For 2 days, you've all known me about this post because y'all don't like that the dude posts botches. How about y'all get mad at the fucking guy who directs the show, constantly showing the botches for the world to see? He's the one giving them the content. Making fun of Vince's camera cuts until that other shit, the whole fucking gag reel, huh? Tell his ass to get some fucking performance center before someone paralyzes themselves on TV or worse. To be fair, what you said wasn't even that bad. This shit just the last straw. Either way, go cry to Khan." Now, that is kind of ironic considering that last Wednesday on Wrestling, one of the big AEW stars, Dean Ambrose, kind of got dropped on his head like Stone Cold did by Owen Hart. And he's not as bad. He didn't get paralyzed like Stone Cold, but he was hurt. And this happens all the time in this company. And it happens all throughout wrestling, right? It does. But some of the injuries that these people have are from the lack of training that they have. But I just thought that was talking about children, and yeah, like you threaten a guy's children over a wrestling page. That is insanity. That is okay. So that is now my spiel now because I have hogged all this all. So what's up, Alex? Go ahead.
I wanted to say hello to Big Red by bringing back. I think at one point I said I was going to retire that, but we're unreliable, as the description points out. So here it is again. It has come back. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I went for the first 11 minutes, so go ahead.
Did you know that we're all going to die?
Yes.
Eventually, I know what you mean, but I'm talking perhaps sooner than that. Someone shared a tweet, and I have no idea where this came from, but Earth is, quote, well outside safe operating space for humanity, scientists find. So, of course, skeptics are going to say, who are these scientists? What do you mean outside safe operating space? What does this all refer to? Well, we'll get into that because the sentence at the bottom here refers to an actual article, and I found it not on The Guardian. I went to Newsweek because, I'm not paying for news.
This week.
Oh, yeah. Until there's nowhere else to go and everyone's paywalled everything. So 6 of the 9 planetary boundaries that regulate the stability of our planet have been crossed. So the framework, this idea, was introduced in 2009. Catherine Richardson, the lead scientist of the group, is warning that we humans, just like all of the living organisms, survive by using the Earth's resources, but those resources are limited. Now, what exactly is she referring to? I don't think she specifies, but probably oil would be one of those resources. The sun would not count. Wind, tidal, probably not. But onto the 9 planetary boundaries. Climate change, this is still a contentious issue in this day and age. Biosphere integrity, land system change, freshwater usage. Freshwater apparently has been an issue for the past 5, maybe 10 years. At least I've heard more talk about how we're almost depleted of fresh water. And before I go on, do you think his Tadger is in any? No, I don't, because he has had children. I've not seen the birth of those children, so I am simply relying on him saying that he has children. Can you put Trump? I can, but not yet. There's got to be a specific precedent for it. Don't you touch that thing, Nick. Don't touch it. Don't do it. Good. Okay, thank you. We'll get to it. So, for those who don't read well, here's a picture of what we're talking about. Novel climate change, biosphere integrity. In terms of ocean acidification, that's getting close to the breaking point. I didn't go over the others. Biogeochemical flows, novel entities, stratospheric ozone depletion, atmospheric aerosol loading, and ocean acidification. Well, I don't go swimming in the ocean anyway. I don't care. You better care.
You better care.
You better care. So this is the important part. Crossing 6 boundaries in itself does not necessarily imply a disaster will ensue, but it is a clear warning signal. This is according to her and her group. For our own and our children's sakes, we need to reduce the pressure on these 6 planetary boundaries. Well, unfortunately, Dr. Richardson, I got bad news for you. Because of these things called the economy and industry, it ain't going to happen. And human population is not going down anytime soon, no matter how many people talk about the gerb or the war in Russia and between Russia and Ukraine escalating to the point where it goes nuclear. I doubt it. we're still going to have, I think we've got 8 billion now. And we had, I think it was 5.5 billion in the early to mid 90s. So it's not going down anytime soon. Therefore, more people, more resources consumed, more resources needed. Industry continues, economy continues. Climate and biodiversity we experience today demonstrate that the humanity's overall impacts on the planet are now so great we must manage our relationship with the planet as a whole. Yeah, tell that to all the people who drive big old gas guzzling and diesel guzzling vehicles, smoke like chimneys, throw litter out the window onto the roads, and kill animals wholesale so that when said food is delivered to their plate in a restaurant, they eat half, they say, I'm full, and then the rest gets thrown out. And I've seen that many a time in my day. That's why I eat absolutely everything on my plate every single time. They can't.
So I don't put too much clothes on or too much food on your plate. I don't have to worry about throwing food away.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat a small amount or eat what's there. And if you need to order more, sure, just make sure you can eat it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Focusing on climate change alone is not enough.
Don't think so.
No. Hopefully, this new study will serve as a wake-up call for many and increase focus in the international community on the necessity of limiting our impacts on the planet in order to preserve and protect the conditions that allow advanced human societies to flourish. And now, Bolo, I will appease you by bringing up... Jesus, I should have larger letters for this. There it is.
Wrong.
Big old resounding wrong. Reason being, the alarm bells on climate change were issued as far back as, I don't know, 2007, maybe even earlier. And at least in the past 5 years, that there have been calls that we've almost crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. And at this point, we don't seem to be doing anything about it. I mean, sure, maybe people are recycling more. Maybe some people are buying less, but that affects the economy. Maybe some people have traveled less in the past 2 years. Reason being, the big old elephant in the room, which has now gone away, the Roner. But
yeah.
Now we're pretty much back to full capacity and doing whatever we want because my freedom. So no, we don't really care about the climate. It's not real as long as I can drive my SUV and buy whatever I want from Costco and throw half of it away because it expired. I don't care. This is the world we live in. We're going down.
But I also think that a lot of it is people aren't. You would actually think might have to help a little bit because a lot of people aren't traveling as much as they used to. You know what I mean? Like they're not. Like a lot of people can't afford to travel the way they used to, especially with fuel at $1.89 or 80 something cents. You know what I mean? So.
Know what I mean, Vern?
Know what I mean?
Hold on. I want to, because Bolo is a father of what, 5? And he probably works every single day. So I want to keep him giggling.
Wrong.
There you go. Where they go. Okay, so where do they go? Under the impression of recycling. I have seen, and this is completely anecdotal, it's not backed up by any proof or science whatsoever, that a lot of the recyclables that we here in North America intend for recycling actually go to Asia and they get put into landfills. There is absolutely no evidence on that. That's just me saying it because I swear I saw it somewhere and I did not keep that source. So who knows?
So let's go with it.
Incinerators. Now that's interesting because people in the past have talked about burning garbage, but the amount of garbage that would have to be burned every day would probably burn a hole in the ozone layer. Probably. I don't have the science to back that up.
No, we do not have the science because we are bro science.
Yes. You're welcome, Bolo. Anytime. Just say Trump in large letters and I'll play it again for you. I'll try to. Yes, please. Yeah, landfills, it would not surprise me whatsoever. I was at the dump recently, and yes, I saw many things there, including cardboard that should have gone for recycling.
Oh, I can attest to this myself. Being a garbage man, you wouldn't believe the amount of paper that gets thrown out.
Paper?
Cardboard. I said to you, they're trying to get away. They're making plastic illegal now, or whatnot, or whatever they're doing for plastic bags, and people are now using the reusable bags for like their diaper bags. I've had full brown carts, full, and they're full of those recyclable bags, the reusable bags. So I'm gonna guess that reusable bag probably gonna take longer to break down than a plastic bag. I would think at least a plastic bag might get kind of tattered and get weathered and crumple into small little big. But yeah, a whole cart like that full, but a big one, of course, full of these reusable bags.
Did you buy that thing, or was that
No.
given to you as a gift?
Given to me. I got a green one too.
What? Now, the day that you are given like a micro machine version of a garbage truck, wow.
I'm waiting for
Wow.
it. Hint, hint. Christmas. Hello. No, I'm just joking. Oh. Yeah.
Really? So what do you all do with your recycling, Alma? I imagine there's the dump truck, of course. Is there a recycling truck that shows up on a different day? Because that's what happens here at my building. But there are also I think there are 3 recycling centers in the city in which I live that people go to every day, I've seen. No, you joined at the perfect time.
Sorry,
We're talking about garbage, and look who shows up. Speaking of Brody, Uncle Hack and the Danger Cats were in New West again last night, and I went to see him. It was a good time. Crowd wasn't as big as the first time around, which kind of sucked, but hey, that means a little bit more time with all 3 of the guys at the end of the show. It was great. And
excellent.
I got pictures, but my girlfriend didn't send them to me.
Handy.
So, yeah.
I do. So just so you know about the way recycling goes here, because we have a lot of people from down south, like that bring bottles up and stuff. Lots of Mexican Mennonites and stuff. If you bring the bottles to the depot, there is no deposit on them. Yep, There's no deposit on them because you don't and I don't know if there's Bolo and Alma. Do you guys pay? Okay, there's a program recycling, but you have to pay. Okay, when you buy a liter of Coke, is there a recycling fee on top of that? Because for us, there's an environmental charge on every bottle you buy, every milk jug. I'm just wondering if that's the case with the States as well.
I think here in British Columbia, there is like 5 or 10 cents.
And same here.
Yeah,
same here. So I'm just curious if it's the same in the United States or not. So
see, that's dumb where Alma and Bolo live, because that is less incentive for people to engage in recycling because they have to pay for it. That it should be free. That's so dumb.
Wow.
So, and it wouldn't surprise me that for a lot of people who are at or near the poverty rate, they're not going to want to pay for recycling or garbage. Yep. So it's going to be dumped in alleys or on the side of the road or somewhere else, or buried even.
Yep. The ignorance of people around here, though, I think it has gotten better. I don't know for sure, but for the longest time, people would throw their TVs and their fridges and stuff into the ditches because they thought there was a charge. Actually, I think fridges are a charge because of the Freon, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of people would throw like their TVs and stuff. Now people just collect TVs because they take them apart and take the copper out of them and whatnot.
Yep.
But like there used to be a ton of that crap all over the ditches, but not as much anymore. So
that sucks, Ryan. No plastics or glass, and I bet those items are purchased way more than cardboard boxes. That's so dumb.
Yep.
Perhaps. Yeah, California, they've got to increase their costs because they're trying to allocate money for various other things. Where's Frank here to set us straight on the state of California?
Yeah.
Ugh. Speaking of the RCMP, this is just a little side note. As of last week, I started listening to the Canadian True Crime Podcast.
Oh, see, I haven't listened to it in a while.
It's great.
I liked it. Oh, I just kind of fell off of it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Hey, Joe. You know, even if there is not a financial incentive, or pardon me, I'm thinking of the other thing. Recycling deposit on cans. They just put the cans in the blue recycle. Yeah, if it's free, great. Then people will do it. Well, most people should do it. If there's a small financial incentive, then I think more people would do it. There's got to be something there, instead of charging people for it. Well, do it for free, or here's some pocket change back for you at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thanks for coming back, Joe. Haven't seen you in a while. Mounties helping. Well, if you listen to the Canadian True Crime Podcast, you will learn that here in Canada, not everyone is a nice person. Prime example, first episode, Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka. Freaking monsters.
Yeah, and that's why the fact that she got the deal that she got,
ugh,
and the fact that he's in a minimum security prison in Quebec, last I saw, is ridiculous.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's absolutely asinine and disgusting.
And I just finished listening to, I think it was episode 20. It's the guy over in one of the Eastern Atlantic provinces. His name escapes me now, and I listened to it about an hour and a half ago. I think he was born in the 50s because he's in his 70s now. He's still in prison. He shot and killed 2 people. He injured another 2. He went to prison. He injured 2 prisoners there in an attempted breakout. It turned into a hostage situation. He was indirectly responsible for the death of 1 prison guard, and he was getting day passes. Of course, he was accompanied. I think a total of 118 times between 2011 and 1980, something like that. I think it was episode 20. And I can understand people's frustration with the Canadian justice system if it's going to be like this.
Yep.
I know you have, Brody. You've mentioned it many times in the past. I'm finally on the bandwagon. I finally got the time to get in there. And because Christy Lee, that's the host's name. And yes, Ryan, she does have an incredible accent. It does make it for nicer listening. Because she releases episodes, it looks like once a month, maybe 2 a month. I'm confident I'll catch up by the end of the year. It is easy, but some of the words she uses or pronounces, I kind of get caught up on them, but then I realize, hey, it's just an accent. It doesn't matter. Sometimes, it's all right. At least you made the effort, and we appreciate that.
So there's actually one of my favorite episode was the Mad Trapper, and like it's up in the Yukon, takes place in like the 1800s, I think. Maybe Brody will remember off the top of my head, off the top of his head. But yeah, that one was interesting because there is a picture of him, and it is the haunting image of him. So the Mad Trapper of the Yukon, I think it's called. And and then he also talks about Lebetchikov or whatever, the guy that did the Vanderhoof kills there. Lebetchikov.
So for anyone who
Mad Trapper of Rat River, that's what it is. Yeah, and the picture, like there is. Did you go look at the picture after, Ryan? It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So here it is, CanadianTrueCrime.ca episodes. So she's on 143 to 150. She hasn't updated so far in September. But if we go older, and we're going to go all the way back to the beginning just for a moment. I am Ernest DeRoche. That was the one I was referring to. Depicted. This is fascinating.
Yeah, that there. If there is a story where so Alma and Bolo, if you guys have time to listen to a podcast, go listen to this one about Robert Pickton. You think that the incident with the Green River Killer was ridiculous? How he got away, like he should have been nabbed in the 80s. This guy's, I think, is even worse. I think that like the fact that he got to kill for as long as he did and how many people that he did, it's absolutely atrocious and disgusting.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's in episode 2 where Christy makes mention of the RCMP in Vancouver, like the old boys club. They were jealous of this guy who had come up with this new system. Okay.
Keep going.
All right. There was a guy, I can't remember his name. He had come up with a new system on how to triangulate where a killer would be based on the victims, where the victims were found. And the old boys club, they were so jealous they tried to get the guy drummed out of the RCMP. It's stupid. And the fact that they didn't take a lot of these missing women cases seriously. And there was even one case where an RCMP officer lied to someone where he said, oh, she went back to Ontario for rehab or something to get away. Well, what was that based on? He was just saying that so she would go away. That's so stupid.
Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of cases like that. Oh, hold on. Hello? Hey, man, I just wanted to call and apologize, dude. I'm sorry. Okay, and I guess I should have said, like, hey, like, another guy. So I am sorry. If you were pissed off, I'm sorry. But, okay. All right, well, you got me, so you fucker. All right, I'll talk to you later, man. Okay, bye.
Yeah, and that's how they... We heard everything.
No, you didn't. My mic was muted.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wasn't?
No.
That didn't mute it?
I can play it back if you want.
Did that mute it?
No.
Wow.
You're going to have to unplug it next time.
Apparently. Yeah. So,
yes, the Dylan Millard case.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Okay, now was that the guy with the airplane, right?
Yeah, he was the one.
The incinerator.
Yes, the Eliminator is what he nicknamed it, or the barbecue. That guy's a moron because all he had to do was lift a few fingers every once in a while. He would have gotten control of his dad's company. His dad would have retired. Yeah. He would have had access to all this money, and then he pretty much could have done what he wanted. But no, for whatever reason, he had to kill people, 2 people at the very least, Laura Babcock being one of them. Why? And he had the money to buy the vehicle, but no, we got to go out and kill a guy.
That's the biggest thing. He had the money.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm curious here. Now it's bugging me. Wait, I guess I should have.
There you go. Now I can't hear you. You know why? Because of that little icon that says mute mic and unmute mic.
I thought, what the fuck, not me thing. I thought it worked on my mic too up here. So I guess next time I fucking. All right. Anyways.
Well, you know what that means.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you know a guy.
Come on, man. Come on.
Wrong.
There you go, just for Bolo.
Okay.
Oh, the other one. Was the Shell Lake Massacre, or which one was it with the mine shafts? Was that the? Remember the mines? They blew the mine up and they ended up like killing a bunch of people. And
I think that's later. I haven't gotten to that one.
And
yet.
the Rena Burke one was sad. I remember when that happened.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
That was sad. But yes, if people need something, I don't know how you would be bored in this day and age, but if you need something, Canadian True Crime Podcast is the thing. Christy Lee does a great job. I can't wait to hear more. The Polytechnique Massacre, this was particularly troubling. I did not listen to this one yet, but I've seen the movie called Polytechnique, which was directed by Denis Villeneuve. He did Blade Runner 2049 and Prisoners and a lot of other good movies. He did Polytechnique in 2009. It's about an hour, 17 minutes. It's in black and white. Great movie. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's yeah, and some of these stories, I'm starting to get crossover because I've for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm really into it. Is Dateline, NBC Dateline. It's the podcast, and like I don't even need to see the show, but I'm really up into those too.
Apparently, true crime in general is a big hit with women. And I don't know if it's a certain cross section or what, but I'm wondering if it's to do with women who want to know what happened so that they themselves, if they're in a similar situation, can respond in a better manner than those who weren't able to.
So I don't know if Brody's this way, and I don't know how much Bolo and Alma listen to. So weird. I mean, it's so Bolo and Kat. Alma's so weird for me to say. If they listen to podcasts, but there are times when I listen to some of these ones, and I'll text Kim like, I love you, and if you ever fall out of love with me, just leave. Please don't kill me. Like I'm just like, oh my god, like just fucking like, oh man, like yeah. So she always laughs like, of course I'm not gonna kill you until I get your money. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Little Joe.
What?
Set the screen here. What else? What other podcast? Yeah, I'm just on Dateline now. I was going really hard on Southern True Crime. But I kind of fell off a bit. Southern Fried True Crime. But I found with her as a host that when it was a man who was, up on charges, he was a piece of crap. It didn't matter what he said. But whenever it's a woman, she seems to try to justify why the woman maybe shouldn't be quite as on fault. And I've read posts on her Facebook where people, even other women, have called her out for that. So I used to listen to True Crime Cast. I found them through the Chris Jericho podcast, but for some reason it keeps deleting itself off my phone. And I'll re-download it. I did it about 4 or 5 times. I finally just gave up on it because it's annoying, right? Because by the time you realize, oh crap, and I have my phone set up so when my podcast, when I'm done listening to it, it just kicks it off, right? Well, when it deletes the podcast, it loses the memory. So now I'm like, where did I end on the podcast? So I just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah. From 30 to 20. Yeah. I'm not exactly limiting myself, but I'm not going out and looking for more podcasts because the ones I do listen to regularly, that's enough for me. I can't fit any more into my schedule at this point.
Brody, are you home on the 14th? Because we have a show. I invited your wife, but you're not on Facebook, so maybe you should just stay home with the kids and Joe should come get crap loaded with us and have fun. Just saying. Crime Junkie, but yeah. See, Crime Junkie was okay. I fell off of that one too. The one I couldn't do, and I was because everyone had talked about Morbid, and just the way that they talked, I couldn't listen to it.
What do you mean how they talked?
Like, oh my god, like seriously, like it's really like, I couldn't.
Yeah, thank God for 2x speed. I'm not sure what my MP3 player's speed is, but it goes from 0 to 8, and it can also go from 0 to, I think, -8. So I don't know what 8 represents, whether that's 1.5, 1.75, 2. I have no idea. But I listen on level 8 because I have to. I need to stay current.
I like to listen at normal speed, and I really know that Brody always busts my balls about it. But yeah, I just listen at normal speed. I do. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
okay, so Joe's coming to get drunk on the 13th and 14th. And Brody has to stay home.
Nice.
Cherry bombs! I know you don't drink, dude, but cherry whiskey and Red Bull, it's like candy.
Oh, terrible combination. Red Bull and alcohol.
Yeah, look, this is a body of good decisions.
You're going to end up on Big Red Slab pretty soon with that attitude.
Actually, but I say that, but again, my drinking has really calmed down. Definitely not what it used to be.
That's the thing. Even if the narrator isn't great, if I am interested in the content, I will stick with it and I will listen because I've become a person who sees things through to the end. Rarely will I abandon something. Whoa. I heard something about that Prince Harry and his big old blue. And that's all I need to know. I don't need to know anything about Prince Harry anymore.
Apparently he has a thick hog. Big Red's all excited about it.
Look who showed up.
Goodness.
He's back. He's here. Thank you, really. Now I got to remove you off the people we haven't seen for a while list.
Nah, I've been called worse by better, really. It's all right.
Very nice to see you again.
Nice to see
Thank
you.
you so much.
The thing is okay, you say Red needs a podcast.
But
hold on. Is there somebody that could, not that she needs to be controlled, but keep her in between the navigational beacons, right? Like kind of like that was the problem with Piper. Roddy Piper, when he did his podcast, he was just like, right? So, you know.
Nah, I say let her go. Let her have her freedom and do whatever she wants and then throw it out there. I will listen.
But she has to be pissed.
Yeah. We're getting nowhere with that one. She won't even know how to upload it.
Well, that's why you need like a handler for her. Like, they need a Red handler.
Really, if you want me to read something, I will do that for you. I will make the time because you are a good person. And that's not knowing almost anything about you. You could be a serial killer for all I know.
He didn't call me a lady or a gent, so he can go to hell. He's not a good person.
But he's not assuming anything about you. He is being extremely courteous. Piper's Pit was a great
What used to drive me nuts with Piper's Pit was his breathing. Because he'd be like right here like
maybe he was told that the women love it.
Oh, I don't know. It was like have you watched those videos, those I'm gonna eat a pickle. It's like that's the most annoying thing I've ever heard.
Nope. Do not hire a translator.
No.
Red. I want to hear you authentically. I don't care what state you're in. I want you. Don't take that out of context.
Me. Sorry.
Get out of here. I listened to someone who had a Yorkshire accent recently, and I was able to make out everything that they were saying. I know Yorkshire isn't Scotland. I know that. I'm just saying I can adapt. I can change my hearing in my brain to get around what you're talking about.
Hey,
Ooh,
what
yes.
size shirt do you wear?
I fit kind of comfortably into a large.
That's what I thought.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hey,
That's a good one, really. Yeah, Neil deGrasse, he's got a great voice. I love ASMR. You got to listen to various stuff, find out what helps you relax. That's the thing with ASMR. There are a lot of people who don't like it because they're not listening to the right thing. You got to look around. There's a whole bunch out there. Don't just listen to, and it's sometimes the wrong person. Like somebody was saying with narration, Brody was saying with audiobook or podcast narration, if the host sucks, they're out. There are some ASMR artists on YouTube who will go through ASMR really fast. That is not the way to do it. ASMR is meant to be done slowly. I would say look at Massage ASMR. That's Dimitri. He's from the Gold Coast. He doesn't really do videos anymore, but look at his stuff from 5, 6, 8 years ago. He takes his time. He does it right. He's got the equipment. He's been called by some as the godfather of ASMR, but I think that's more Bob Ross. But Dimitri knows how to do it right. So give it a try.
look who else just showed up.
Yes.
I put Game Boy games up my butt.
You know what I would love is Casey either doing audiobook narration or Casey doing true crime. Give me a half hour of Casey going over a case from, I don't know, Arkansas or something. That would be awesome. Yeah, you know what? No, I think Jim Cornette's better when he's off the cuff as opposed to trying to read something.
Come on, Brody. That rant he had on whatever the rant was the other day. Oh, on the experience. What was he ranting? Oh, the trip to Florida. When he didn't have toilet paper, he had to wipe his ass with his sock, and then the big spider on the door, and he tried to kill the spider. It was a huge spider, but then ran under the door. Goddamn motherfucking spider in the fucking goddamn room. Now I gotta fucking go in there and can't fucking sleep. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
ASMR eating, that's kind of really
That's what
specific.
I was talking about. That's what I was talking about.
I would go with, and this is to answer Chad's question, crinkling, plastic crinkling, soft tapping, especially if it's someone who's got some good nails, tapping on a cell phone screen or a tablet screen, or unintelligible whispering, especially if it's in Spanish or Japanese. That's some good stuff, but anything that will help to relax you.
Kat, I think I found a little bit of extra money for you. Not saying specifically for my co-host here, but I was saying in general. Come on, Bolo, get her on that. Okay, I'm going to disagree because now I enjoyed for the character that he played in Peacemaker. So the second Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And for the doofus he was in Cock Blockers, I thought he was pretty funny.
Roddy Piper in They Live.
They Live.
Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Expendables. Hulk Hogan, no. John Cena in Trainwreck.
See, I haven't seen Trainwreck yet.
It's decent. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, do it, Big Red. Do it. Send it to us. I would love to listen to it. I think it's Scottish Whisperings ASMR on YouTube. That one's pretty good.
So for
I'm
Casey
serious,
doing
Casey,
an audio,
please.
yeah, doing the Reverend Bob Levy. I don't know, for those who don't know Howard Stern, he was a guy that was involved with the Stern Show, and he was supposed to read some of Artie Lang's autobiography. Oh my God! Do you guys, Brody, Ryan? Do you guys remember that when Reverend Bob was trying to read? Yeah, but I'm sorry, I jumped ahead really to what Ryan said about Hogan and Rocky III. Hogan didn't really act in that movie. Oh yeah, the Mustang. Yeah, yeah. I hope he flatlines on his way to the fucking hospital. Look at that. So context on that: a Mustang ended up on Cornette's fence, and he lost his mind. He's screaming and yelling because they broke his fence, and then the cops come over to him after they show up, and they're like, "Are you the guy that's out here yelling?" He's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, there's a fucking car, my fucking fence, and fucking fuck." And he goes, "Well, sir, do you realize that this guy's on his way to the hospital right now?" And Cornette replies, "And I hope he fucking flatlines on the way there, motherfucker." Like,
You recommended that episode to me.
wow, like,
It was
the
good.
Mustang, yeah. But the one he just had to in Florida, he went off. Just how shitty of a time he had in Florida.
Home Improvement Super Nintendo. Wow, I've never seen that jumble of
Me
words
neither.
before. Good on you, Casey. That's a really
Okay.
niche market you got.
So we need to stop before I keep going now because, so yes, Kimberly Coates, an Oklahoma teacher drunk at school. So apparently she was arrested on August 7th. So this was mentioned earlier by Ryan. She was arrested for over public intoxication that she showed up to the school in inebriated state at 8:00 in the morning.
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
Enough
Yep.
said.
So her breathalyzer test registered at 0.24, which is 3 times the legal driving limit. No, I
Hope she
guess
took
if
the
you're
bus.
going to go hard, I guess.
Yeah, got to be
Wow.
able to deal with unruly teenagers somehow.
So I don't know what Ryan wanted us to say, but fired. And then, well, hold on. I will be, from one of the most liberal things I'll say, you get her the help that she needs, obviously. If she's obviously that drunk at 8 in the morning, she obviously has a problem and she needs help. Firing her, I know Alex is getting ready to go, firing her and just taking everything away from her, maybe she's having a problem. Maybe we need to get to the bottom of it. This is probably the most liberal thing I've ever freaking said. So I think you go the proper ways for terminating her and get her the help that she might need.
Yeah, compassionate. Yeah.
St. Martin was the island. Yes, Brody. Sorry, I didn't know where that was.
Thunder Lips. Wow.
Wow. That's that range that Hulk Hogan has, brother. Yes, it was St. Martin Island. I thought it was around Florida. I don't know. Yes, you are right, though. It was St. Martin Island. So I think that she needs help. You don't fire her. You get her the help that she needs. Because obviously, if she's getting drunk at that time in the morning, then she needs help.
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah.
But I think we know what part of the problem is. Being a teacher.
Oh, could
dealing
you imagine?
with kids.
Oh, could you
That's what I mean.
imagine dealing with these kids now?
No.
I couldn't imagine. Man, I couldn't imagine dealing with these cross goblins now. I couldn't. Poof. No, hard pass.
Some of us back in the day, yeah, we were unruly at times, but nowadays I think it's a little more out of control.
Because at the end of the day, when the teacher either threw the stapler across the room or smashed that, meter stick across the desk, you're like, all right, playtime's over. Like, it's time to... You couldn't do that now. Not a chance. And people say, that's not right. Well, you're obviously not doing the job at home, so these teachers need to do it. It is the parents, too. I actually saw a video, and I should have saved it to show you guys, but so it shows this dad giving this child crap because apparently he cussed his mother out and said he wasn't going to do I'm not doing the dishes. And the dad's standing over the kid and looking at him going, cuss me out. Cuss me out. Tell me you're not going to do the fucking dishes. Cuss me out. And of course he's not looking at him, right? And then you see the parents in there. Oh, you should never talk down to your children like that. And you shouldn't be yelling. And he wasn't even really yelling at him. Anybody that knows my dad, I don't think I've ever heard George yell. I don't know if Brian ever heard my dad yell. I don't know if you've heard my father yell. That's yelling. This guy was like, basically he was like, yo, like, you want to cuss at me. I mean, his voice was raised, but he wasn't like, going apoplectic. And these people on a line, oh, you shouldn't talk down to your children like that. And oh, you shouldn't be yelling at your child like that. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. And the amount of people that, and I agree with, that are going, this is why children are the way they are now. Because you can't, and again, I'm not saying you need to beat the shit out of your child. I'm not saying that. But, you know, like, at least cut a promo on them. And you're saying you shouldn't be cutting a promo? No, like, no. Like, this is why the majority of children are the way they are now. Can't speak for them all, because I don't know every child in the world. Barely know any children. And I am totally that guy that is like, every child I know is awesome because they love the garbage man. So, you know, I don't know children outside of that. But the kids I see around nowadays, I'm just like, oh, there was a kid, they were throwing a football in the mall. Me and Kim were in Calgary for our anniversary. And I looked at him like, can I go tackle him? And like, they were bigger kids. They're teenage. Like, no. I'm like, baby. They're throwing a football around in the mall. I think, were they in Chinook? In Chinook Mall in Calgary. It's a very big mall. It's like, please. She wouldn't let, I wanted to tackle him so bad. And then get up and go, like, you know?
Big Red, you need sleep. You're not going to be able to do your job if you don't sleep. It's good for the brain. Please get some sleep. You can come back to us another day. You can go to y2mate.com. You can copy the YouTube link for this show, download this show as an MP3 tomorrow and listen to us then. Please get some sleep, please.
And really love, we're probably not going to be on too much longer because I went gym, smashed a little bit of dinner, union meeting, and barely got here in time for the show. So we're probably not going to go too much longer. So get some sleep, love, please.
Yes. And speaking of which, this is just the greatest segue. So if you need coffee, Black Label Dark Roast Ground Coffee, the strongest coffee in the world, we're going to test that. 1,555 milligrams of caffeine per 12 ounces.
Woo!
Per 12 ounces. Yeah. But then there's this one, Biohazard Whole Bean Coffee, the world's strongest coffee. Are you seeing a pattern here? This one has 928 milligrams of caffeine per 12 ounces. And finally, Black Insomnia, made from the strongest coffee beans in the world, 1,105 milligrams per 355 milliliters. That's like a cup and a half. If you want to die, if you want a literal chest burster, you drink this coffee. Isn't that awesome?
Wow, I actually want to see some because I had a Rockstar after the gym, sugar-free Rockstar. Caffeine content. I'm curious. So according to two sources, there's in a can of Rockstar sugar-free, the 160 milligrams of sugar or of caffeine. So 160. Let's see, can size, and they're a little bigger. The can size, 473 milliliters, 160 milliliters caffeine.
I'm tired. Well, you could buy one of the 3 coffee brands I was advertising, and then you could get all pished and then down a cup of that, and you'll be sober as a judge, as a Scottish judge.
So to go to Joe's comment about her brother being rude to her mom, the one thing my father said, and that stuck with me and stuck with me forever, was my dad said, I don't care that I'm not with your mother anymore. So my mother, if I ever find out you talk to your mom in any disrespectful manner, I will be here in a heartbeat to whoop your ass. Dad didn't care. And he actually said that again here this week. Like, he remembers telling me that. Because we were talking about the way children talk to parents. So anyways, so we're at the hour mark. Let's hit our videos.
Okay. Really, you should have had some water yesterday while you were drinking. At your age, You got to have that water so you avoid that hangover.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll get to, I think, before we do, prim and proper. Well, that's what happens when sometimes when you're growing up in that household where it's very strict, and then you go out on your own. Yeah, you're going to have that sudden switch to my freedom, I can do whatever I want, and you have the exact opposite reaction for a while. Sometimes you bounce back and you find equilibrium in the middle.
Right.
So, speaking of, not really, but you know. Stupid people. First up, did you know that gravity is magic? So, Earth is very uneven, elevations here and there and everywhere, flatness of land is invalid. Heaven is of a spiritual realm, blah, blah, blah. It isn't seen by normies. I could care less the shape of the Earth, okay. How can water stay in a floating ball? Well, you're seeing the evidence of the water staying in the floating ball, so build from there. You believe in magic. That's referring to, I think, number 3.
Well, no, it's referring to... Oh, okay, go ahead, sorry.
This is, in all likelihood, a troll job, but still, we don't know in this day and age. This could be someone actually with these opinions. You believe in magic referring to gravity. This is the world we live in. I don't know what else to tell you.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah. I had lots of barley and hops. Not exactly the same thing. I get where you're coming from, but no, we're talking about just, plain, clean water.
Mm-hmm.
Unencumbered by alcohol, barley, hops, yeast, whatever you want to call it. Artificial flavors.
I try to make it the best that for every 2 drinks, I have a bottle of water. Or a glass of water, at least. And I'm usually pretty all right. Usually. Got that down to a Jedi Master art, I believe. I think I do.
Have you ever encountered a Karen at an anti-abortion protest?
I'm intrigued. I am not. Well, first off, I must say, I've never been at an never been to an anti-abortion thing, but okay, go ahead.
There should be audio at this point, and there's no audio. I don't understand.
On your tattoos. Oh, wait, it's in the corner. Oh, there's no... Oh.
Gravity and centrifugal force, but that's magic too. That's just magic words to explain magic. Casey, he is too. No, he trolls, but I like his shtick.
That he likes to stick Game Boy games up his butt?
I'm going to try this again. There's no reason why it shouldn't play audio. And it's not playing audio.
That's weird.
I don't understand. Well, that sucks because she was talking some trash and I liked it.
Are you one of those? Are you someone who believes if you've done a kind of a shitty thing in your life, and the only reason this came up just popped in my head because I thought of the Instant Karma, the song Instant Karma, and because I saw the moon, stars, and sun, right? And a lot of people, if you mention John Lennon now, he's a woman abusing piece of crap. And it's like, okay, well, he admitted that he smacked. Well, okay, he didn't admit anything. It is out there that he apparently hit his ex-wife. His first. Anyways, I'm not condoning that at all. But, like, this comes back to the whole, does this, we don't know for sure what happened. Don't know. But does that mean that everything he ever did, like, doesn't matter anymore because of an incident like that? Like Bob Marley. I think it was his wife came out and said that he was kind of a piece of shit to her. And it's like, all right, so does that mean everything on the fighting he did for the Jamaican people and whatnot and all this is just erased now? Like,
well, that's where you bring up the old separate the art from the artist, so you can, circumvent that.
I guess, right? Yeah.
And really's got a good point. I was reading up on that last night. People who have changed their name from Karen to something else, and the amount of people who are refusing to use the name Karen for births of new babies.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate cultural thing. Maybe it'll pass, but maybe it's here to stay. I have no idea. I'm going to try one more video. I'm not sure if this one has sound. This one's a short one. So you're driving, and I've been here, and crossing right in front of whoa. That's on Highway 1 going east. That's the Willingdon exit right there, and that's in going through Burnaby. But I love this. What was that? I think it was a Family Guy clip. I cross lane now. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. How many signals do I got to go to cross all lane? Okay, here I go. Good luck, everyone. We can't play that because we'll get dinged for it, but now I want to watch it. Let's get ready for what we're doing here. Okay. All right, what else we got?
Oh, this one's bold. This is 40 seconds long, but it tells the story. So you're pulling up to a red light.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da. Stuff is happening. They stop. That's great. And it appears, bus is turning right. It's a regular night, wherever this is. I have no idea. That person didn't do anything wrong. Neither did that person. But the video's almost over, so something's got to give, you would think. And the light is going red. Oh, and we're going to turn from the left lane all the way across. Whoa. Almost. On the right. Whoa. Whoa.
So, I had this happen in Calgary this weekend, right? Oh, no. So I missed my turn. And all I did was I turned up. I took the exit because the exit I needed was like 100 meters up further. It was kind of a stupid turn off McLeod. And so I pulled up. I flipped around in the parking lot, first parking lot, literally right there. Came back out and hit the exit right back onto my thing. It took, a few minutes. Or a few seconds, anyways.
Ooh, I wonder if he changed it after 1942 or 1 or 5 at least.
Probably should have.
Yeah, I think there were quite a few that had that name, and I would think most changed them after that, because I definitely would if I were them.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, so on to a different kind of stupid.
Every time that blue one gets me every time. Because she's just raining those fists down.
Yeah, that's why I haven't changed it, and I won't.
Wow. Love it.
Big Red, if you are here, this one is for you. And I'll get to it momentarily.
Excuse me?
What's the problem?
I've asked you to turn your engine off. I'm going to report you for parking without paying.
I paid for parking.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so why are you reporting me?
I'll report you because you've left with your engine running.
Yeah, my son is asleep in the car. You can let me talk. My son is asleep in the car. He's 2 years old.
Grow up.
For what reason?
Having turned the engine off.
It's my
exhaust
car.
Fumes are coming into your car and
They're
this
not
car.
coming into my car. I've got my aircon on. The windows are up.
Yeah,
so
and it
how
goes
are they
through your engine.
Okay.
So you actually...
So every time you drive, you're breathing in exhaust fumes.
Yes.
You're not correct. So
well,
get educated.
You grow up and...
So you heard that little bit of logic, did you?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that's true. I wonder if this person is actually spitting some truth at us about when you have your engine running, the exhaust fumes come into your vehicle.
And that's why we're all dumb and retarded.
Well,
That's right there.
That and a few other things which we can't mention because YouTube AI algorithms don't recognize sarcasm. Rip episode 100.
Yeah,
But we're not done yet.
I can't consider it for other people.
Consider it for my son. He's my priority, not you.
Don't you point your finger
That's
at me.
what you're doing. I'd be very careful if I were you. I would be very
Look,
careful.
Come on. Let me get my car up. Come on.
Touch me again and I'll put you through the fucking floor.
Oh, will you?
See, that one was for Big Red. Touch me again, I'll put you through the floor.
Wow.
You old hag. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to body slam an old woman onto the concrete. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Wow. That was great.
Whoa.
Wow. Like my new tattoo?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for my wife.
What does it say?
Radio Girl. And the drawing was done by Andrew Steele.
Nice.
And the tattooing was done by Janelle Moreland.
Yeah, I remember you saying. Nice.
Now Janelle Crabtree. She's married to a Viking. He's a big dude. Which is funny. So we're talking, and she's like, oh my God, it's weird that you guys kind of met up. Well, I guess he was actually from Chetwynd. And he used to snowboard with Scott Malcolm and Jeremy Mathers. That's where they met up there. So I guess she kind of remembered his truck, and yeah, they started talking, and yeah, one thing led to another, and now they're married.
That is cool.
So, all right, wrap this up so I can go to the shower.
Okay, well.
Oh, music and movie?
Yes, absolutely.
My song is by Post Malone with Noah Kahan, or vice versa, Noah Kahan with Post Malone, called Dial Drunk. I love it. I can't stop listening to it. I've had the song for about 4 days. I've already listened to it 27 times. I can't stop listening to it. I love it. So Dial Drunk.
Okay, well, I'm going to punch that into the YouTube search engine now. Dial Drunk. Okay, great. Yes, see, Big Red, that one was for you. We love you, but we like to needle at you every once in a while, just because. All right, so I have both music and a movie to recommend. So, if you're a lover of metal like I am, I would like you to take the time to listen to this album. At least skip to, I think it's about the first minute. When you hear the singer's voice, please tell me if you think he's trolling or not, because I really think he is. I'm not going to describe it anymore, but I think he's trolling, and I love it. And the name of the band is Judge X Judy.
So what's the name of the song? Don't Teach a Pig to Sing.
That's the name of the EP, yeah.
Don't teach.
And it's in the power violence subgenre of metal. Sure. It is pretty crazy, so yeah, I'll go with that.
All right.
Of the 20 or so movies that I watched in the past week, this one impressed me the most. It's got a very low rating on the IMDb. This is not exactly found footage. It's a mixture of a movie containing found footage. But it's a good movie. I liked it. It intrigued me. It's from 2012. It's called Entity. It's an hour 27, including credits. She's not the lead. Dervla Kerwin, I'm not familiar with her, but Charlotte Riley, I saw her and I thought, I know this person from somewhere. And that's because Charlotte Riley was in Edge of Tomorrow, a movie which I love so much. And I'm kind of hesitant on there being a sequel, but you know, I'm probably going to go see it in the theater. Speaking of, if Saw X is playing in the theater this Sunday, I'm going to go see it then.
I'm sharing your song with my metal friends.
Okay. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, it's gone. So drink for that.
Drink for that.
Yes, exactly. Tens of millions of people will die. Quinn, thank you so much for liking us on Facebook. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Jeremy and Tex of The Harsh Truth, they are talking about Saw 7, 8, and 9 right now. So that's Saw 7 and 8 and Jigsaw. Maybe it's 7, Jigsaw, and Spiral, I think. Can't remember. Dial Drunk is your favorite song. All right. Well, I'll find out. I'll find out if it's a good song or not in a few minutes.
So would you call it grindcore? Is that what you call that song? Let's say misocore?
I'm not sure.
Because someone said mycore.
Jan Arden, I haven't seen that name in a while. Time for Mercy. Yes. Good choice. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. This is a slightly shorter show considering the length of time we've gone in the past.
Yeah, a couple, like the last one was 2. We made 2 hours, just barely made 2 hours.
But that's not the record.
What is our record?
In 2022, we did a Saturday show, and I remember Casey was there, in which we went for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Hoy ahoy, Ryan. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everyone else, including Bolo, Alma, Big Red, thank you, Brody, Joe, Chad, Really, Casey, Quinn. If there's anyone else I forgot, I apologize. Super, starring Rainn. Ooh, I saw Rainn Wilson in a few movies recently. I finally saw The Meg, starring Jason Statham. Rainn Wilson was in it. And I saw the sequel. You know, I think it's a little bit better than Meg 2. Just a little bit. It was okay for what it was. Rainn Wilson's been in some good independent movies over the past 10 years. Hesher from 2010 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one. There's been a few others. I'm not going to go to his IMDb and look him up for yourself. He's a good actor. I never watched the TV show that he was in, though, The Office. Okay, well, people we haven't seen in a while, and we hope they're doing well. Hanama, Overseer, Penny, Jen, Corey, Trevor, the other Trevor, both Jolene's. Shout outs to Gareth, Susan, and Ravi. We shall return next Monday, same time, same garbage man time, same garbage man channel. What do you have to say to the people as a part?
You messed that up. That's right. Poopy's back. Blue poopy. I had too many blueberries and now my poo is blue. Oh, that's just disgusting. I had too much meat. Now my poo is red. I don't know.
One of these intros is just going to be a shot of the two of those things and you just, doing a puppet show for 30 seconds and then Alex and the garbage man.
All right. I'll have to get like some black screen it and be like, hey, Poopy, how are you? I'm good, Poopy. How are you? I don't know. That's where we're at. I need to go have a shower and wrap this up.
Okay. Well, as always, think before you say something. Think before you do something. And if you're wondering why the background is orange, it's because this Saturday is Truth and Reconciliation Day. And hopefully we're making some headway with regards to that. It is now a national holiday, as it should be. So please don't forget about this coming Saturday, Truth and Reconciliation Day. And yeah, never forget. And hopefully in the future, we will do better as a society.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
I love you all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all very much. And we will see you next Monday. Really, thank you for coming back. Casey, thank you for showing up. Everyone else, thank you for being here. We love you all. We tolerate you all. We're Grateful for the clicks and the likes. I'm digging myself a hole. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye!
The price is wrong, bitch.
Another friend. Just how you got the just how you feel. Just how I do.